Alright guys, what's going on? Sean Don coming back with a technical analysis. Here we have Marcus Gustaveson, one of my former athletes. Used to actually coach him at good old Concordia St. Paul. He's committing to this whole discus throwing thing, coming back for a 6th or 5th year, whatever it is. His senior season got canceled because of coronavirus. So, yeah, and his discus work and even shot put stuff has improved a lot over the past couple of years since I have left Concordia. So yeah, I just wanted to help him out and help him get over 60 meters because I think it's definitely possible, especially with his athleticism. So let's take a look at young Marcus. So he's still thriving in these coronavirus conditions out there, social distancing and slinging some disc. And honestly, dude, it's crazy to see you move this way, especially after watching you glide shot put and then try to spin and throw discus your freshman year, and I was coaching you. So let's break it down a little bit and give him some tips to work on. So Marcus, I told you to watch some Gerd Canner because I think you have a pretty similar start to him, and I think your overall throw could be, like his throw could be a good model for you to work off of. So yeah, let's do the wind up. You're nice and centered, level shoulders, level hips. Wind up over that right leg, kind of like stall, like I said, Gerd. Both coached by Vestine. You can see you're starting to shift over to that left side, really good. Dropping in, left knee, kind of getting out there. Left shoulder. So you're getting out pretty well over that left side. I still think you could be a little bit more like this left shoulder out over this left toe. What I like to think about is this left side being kind of a post. You want to imagine there's a post like a door hinge or something like that, and this right side goes around that post. You don't want to shift that post back at all, which I mentioned to you probably a couple weeks back or a couple months back. I can't remember. That was kind of a big problem, but here you're doing a much better job of getting out over that left side. But I still think you could do a little bit more. So, and then you can also see that left hip kind of drop back into the circle, and you're starting to go across the circle. Not a bad thing, just noteworthy. Once again, pretty solid move. This throw overall, like I said, is pretty smooth, pretty solid. Right foot coming up good, disc up and back, left arm extended. So I think this right leg sweep is one thing that you could change that might help you out a little bit. As you can see, you're kind of right here is not bad, but you can see as you come through the middle, there's the right foot kind of turns across. I think if you got this right leg up and out just a little bit more, a little bit higher, a little bit more out around this left side, and you led with a little bit more of the instep, so like the inside of your foot versus the top of your foot, and like the top of your leg, you want to lead more with a little bit more with the adductor, and makes it kind of like you're kicking a soccer ball around this right side. That'll lengthen the entry a little bit and then give you a little bit more whip through the middle. As you come through the middle, you close this left arm off and kind of block yourself. Not a bad thing. I guess kind of personal preference. Once again, another discus thrower that you might watch that does that is Virgil. I don't know how to say his first name. Virgilius Alekna, whatever it is. Alekna. That's what everybody calls him. He kind of does the same thing that you do, where he kind of tightens that left arm up and blocks through the middle. But at least for me, when I was throwing, and what I like to see is kind of an outstretched left arm. I think that gives you a little bit of a counterbalance and lengthens and creates a little bit more separation. So you can kind of see, like I said, you're getting over the left pretty well, but I think if this left hip got a little bit more into the throw, as you can see, it kind of sits back a little bit here. Once again, just a little thing, get that left hip a little bit more into the throw. right leg a little bit wider around the back, and like I said, I'll give you a little bit more whip and separation through the middle. But with this right leg kind of coming across, you can see your path through the ring is kind of down this left sector line, which isn't bad. But I like to see more of down the middle. So as this left side, once again, is that left side of the post, you go around the post and then forward, straight to the circle, not down that left sector line. And I think the reason why you kind of do that is you can see this left side start to open up ahead a little bit, start to turn ahead, this whole left side. So once again, try to long right leg, and then just face the sector a little bit more. As you can see, as soon as you come out of the back, this left side just starts turning ahead. I think if you had your chest and torso face the sector a little bit more, like I said, forward off this left foot, you'd have a little bit more direction in the throw, and once again, would create more separation. Like I said, this left side kind of opens up a little bit early. Left foot kind of comes not super high, but not jumping too bad out of the back. You could stay down a little bit more on this left knee. As you can see, it kind of extends up, and that's where this air time comes from. So drop this left knee down and in and just go straight across the circle. Try not to extend that left leg too much. That way this right foot grounds a little bit sooner. And you can see, so this head's starting to turn ahead. This left arm's back, but with that head and left shoulder and left side kind of opening up a little bit early, you do lose a little bit of separation. When you land, though, still pretty good separation because you're pretty athletic. So you can, this little kind of pre-turn through the middle isn't going to kill you because you're athletic, but I think you could get more out of it still. I'd like to see that left arm up a little bit more. As you can see, it's kind of down by your side. Once again, I think you want the disc and your shoulders and your arm, left arm kind of all on the same level. I think when this left arm is down, it can kind of shift your angle of delivery a little bit. So you do get it up eventually, but I think if you just kept it up, it'd be a little bit more efficient, perhaps a little bit more natural of a transition. You ground, like I said, pretty early, about there somewhere. You can see this left arm block going across. Strong left arm pull. You could be a little bit more on this left side, like weight a little bit more on this left leg. As you can see, you're kind of blocked off just a bit. It's not bad, but if this left foot was like maybe 6 inches to the left, with a little bit more weight on that left side, you'd have a stronger left side block. And like I said, I mentioned some non-reverse stuff. I think that would help with this. You kind of want to think about it like a slingshot. If this left side goes forwards, it kind of creates a stretch through the right side of the body, and then you sling the disc out. So a little bit wider on that, a little bit wider left leg so that right hip can get into it a little bit more. As you can see, because I think you are a little blocked off with the feet, your right leg extends and your hip can't quite get into it all the way, so you have to kind of come off a little bit early and reverse a little bit early. Whereas if your left foot was a little bit more open, you'd have more time for your hip to come through and you'd be grounded a little bit longer. But overall, level shoulders, strong left side block, good separation stretch on the disc. But yeah, you can see you just kind of, you extend up on this right leg and you start to, you're a little bit off balance, not off balance, but a little bit of tilt in the upper body. But as you come through, it levels out. So this, in this throw, you do a pretty good job, but I don't know if you have some problems with inconsistency when it comes to delivery on the disc and flight of the disc. That might kind of contribute to it. Might just be the camera angle too. But yeah, so I'd like to see you ground a little bit more. I know you can't see your feet, but your feet come off the ground like right there. So you have another frame or two that you could be on the ground, and that's another, you know, meter or two perhaps on the throw, depending on how strong it feels. I'd like to see you kind of chase the discus out a little bit more too. Like I said, you kind of just, your feet, as soon as your feet come off the ground, you start reversing, and your arm comes out good. But I think you could chase the discus forward a little bit more with that right side. Once again, a byproduct of kind of just coming off the ground early with this reverse. But not too shabby, Marcus. Not too shabby at all. Like I said, especially for what you looked like when we started working together back in the day. So, yeah, hopefully this helps. Like I said, out around the left side a little bit more, wider right leg sweep, leading with the instep a little bit more, and then just, I think the big thing is, yeah, holding this chest and torso a little bit more forwards across the circle to create some more separation. And then staying grounded in the finish. So, yeah, man. Let me know if you have any questions. If anybody else out there would like a technical analysis, go to SeanDonnelly.biz, sign up now. I know most of you guys might not be training, but for those of you who are, you might not have a coach, and I'm here to help. So, a little voice crack there like a preteen boy. Yeah. Thanks for watching, Sean Don. Peace and out until next time.